Hi folks, how you doing? Welcome to the heart of cycling. Thursday night, the south side of Glasgow. Must be Chaingang night. Graham's here. We're just heading up to the Mall to meet for 7 o'clock. That's where things kick off. It's a lovely evening for it. So I'm hoping it goes a wee bit better than in my last video. If you saw that, I was dragged into a faster bunch and hung on about halfway around before I had to drop off. I just felt I was pushing myself too hard, and I had the voice of my cardiac rehab physio team in my head saying, just be sensible, listen to your own body, don't get carried away, don't do anything too daft. So I did finally pay attention to their advice and dropped off about halfway around, and then just had a relatively gentle pedal back. But back again, hoping that tonight is a wee bit more suited to my pace and I make it all the way around. But I didn't really get a chance to talk about how the Chaingang works for anyone that's not done it or doesn't know what I'm on about. I thought I would just kind of explain what happens in a Chaingang, how it works, and why it's such a great form of kind of cooperative cycling, because you work as a bunch. It's not a race where you're trying to outrun anyone else. You work together in the group, and the kind of mantra for a good chain gang is smoother equals faster, because if you just keep things smooth, then the average speed benefits everyone, and there's no point in someone pushing off, open up gaps. So it's all about smooth, controlled riding, and also clear communication. How you doing? You're riding very, very close to other people's wheels. So you've got to be confident with the people you're riding with, and you've got to communicate well as a group to make sure you all know what's going on, that you're shouting about any road hazards coming up that you can't see, and you're going very fast, so you don't have a lot of time to react. So we'll take a look at that tonight and hopefully have a nice, smooth, well-organised chainie. We're up at the Mall, quite a big bunch out waiting to go, but unfortunately they're all a lot faster than me. So I'm hoping we get a wee Group 3/Group 2 bunch, which is willing to kind of take things easy, because I can't risk getting too carried away again like I did before and getting demoralised. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, so my footage didn't really work out when I was out in the chainie. So I've had to resort to using some of the shots from a previous outing, but I just wanted to show how it works. Basically, however many you've got in your group, you form two lines and you ride side by side, but there's always someone coming through on the front. You're always moving, and you can see here Big Kareem's moving onto the front, and he goes in front of the rider on his right, and that's me coming through on Kareem's left. So I'm just going to push through a little bit faster than Kareem, and I'm going to make a nice smooth transition onto the front of the group on the right hand side of the road. And as I do that, the rider behind me will come through on my left, and they will then join the front. You can see it again here, two lines. I think there was 6 of us out that night, but 2 lines. There's Kareem again, he's on the front, he's moving over to the right hand side. I'm holding his wheel, and as soon as he moves over, I come through past him on the left hand side, and then I move over on the right hand side in front of Kareem, and the next rider comes through on my left. So it's always rotating, and it's like a chain. There's one side going fast and the other side is actually going a wee bit backwards like that. But that's how it works. That's how it's meant to work. Communication is key, making sure that you're riding closely, but you're not endangering any other riders. You're always benefiting from the slipstream until you get on the front, do a short turn, and then the next guy comes through and takes the wind. So it makes it super efficient when you're cycling that close together and in total sync, really. But there's dangers that come with it, so you've got to be confident about the riding. You've got to communicate and work together as a bunch. But really good fun when it does work like that. We had a new guy out in our ride, a young guy called Blair, who came along, his first ever Cheney, and he did really well. But there's a lot to learn your first Cheney. Here's Blair getting a wee bit of instruction from Graham and some of the other guys as he kind of gets to grip with what the Cheney's all about. We're a wee bit spaced out here. You want it to be tighter than that so that you're all benefiting from riding as closely as possible to each other and getting the maximum benefit from those aerodynamics. So Blair's just off the wheel a wee bit. There he is on the front, and he's getting a wee bit of instruction from Graham, but he picked it up really well. Strong rider, first ever Cheney, but he got through it and he did really well. And I caught up with him afterwards to find out what he thought about his first experience.
Chaingang post-mortem.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of almost like 2 bikes behind the person in front.
You should be a bit.
So
It's making it harder because then you're having to wait.
Here we Blair. First ever Cheney tonight.
Yeah.
He was out with us. A Chaingang is quite intimidating for someone that's not done it before. So Blair, first time tonight.
It was. I've never done a sport with so much coordination in my life. Like that was a lot. I'm just used to swimming in a pool, which is probably the most safest thing.
And a bunch of guys shouting at you
Yeah.
when you're going at 22, 23 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe at least you guys aren't turning around and saying, go on a bike that just doesn't move and stick to the walk bike. But
No.
hopefully be back out again some point soon.
Would you recommend a Cheney to other riders who are just getting into the sport?
I think so, yeah, but I would probably say go out in yourself and kind of find your feet a wee bit first, maybe go on some long rides and some tempo rides, and then build up to it. So yeah,
Right. But we're going to see you back again for the Cheney.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, some point.
Right. Good man, well done.
Cheers, thanks Richard.
Right, got a new recruit, absolutely magic. We'll see him again. I don't think we put him off completely. There's Gary, what's going on? What's going on? Right, post-ride interview. Gary, what's going on there?
160.
Well, it's meant to be a no drop ride, but I say it's a bloody no.
Yeah, no,
I know fucking breathing ride. Come on.
Next week, Gary. Be back for more. So almost home. That was a lot better than my previous evening out on the Cheney. Good bunch tonight. Young Blair that joined us did very, very well for his first ever Chaingang. I think you can tell there's quite a lot to take in when you're doing it for the first time. He had a bunch of guys shouting at him to move out, slow down, keep it smooth, all of this stuff, but he did very well. And that's the thing, you've got to start somewhere and learn the rules of the Cheney. But I'll say this about riding a Chaingang. When it works well and you're all kind of pulling together as a unit, it really is great. You get that sense of satisfaction from riding as a bunch and cooperating. You're not racing each other. You're helping each other out, really, and benefiting from the group's work. A lot of people might think of cycling as a kind of solitary sport sometimes, You know, you just go out your bike and have a run by yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy that very much. But it's not always about going out and clearing your head. It can also be a collective thing. And the Chainie's a really good example of that, where you are working together. No chat when you're on the Chainie, it's just, you know, working well, pulling through, taking your turn. And it's the power of the collective unit more than anything else. That's what makes it fantastic. That's us almost home. So I hope I've not put you off the Chaingang. I hope I might have encouraged you, but when it works well, it's absolutely magic. So anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Heart of Cycling. If you like what you see and you're interested in the channel, please hit the subscribe button, give us a wee like and drop us a comment, and I'll see you the next time. Cheers.